Hello, everybody. This is Kevin back with Inspiring How You See That. And we are back with our exploring segment again to share with you guys. And this is the conclusion of our Civil War segment as far as, some of the transitions of the war and the conflict. So we kind of went in reverse and we did the Fort Gregg, and then we went to the Five Forks, and then we went to the plantation. And now we're fast forwarding ahead, and now we are at the surrender signing at the Bennett place. And we're going to take you guys in there, kind of show you some of the video and talk about it throughout the video and talk about this segment. So we'll get right into that and we'll get started here. So as you see, we included some of the pictures that were kind of just some of the artwork, and they're pretty old pictures. So they're a little bit pixelated. So you just kind of have to, imagine, what it looked like back then. And a lot of these were the cabin areas and kind of what it looked like. And there is a museum now at the front of the Bennett place. And we took a lot of the pictures within that museum just to kind of show you some of the things that were in that museum. Now, one thing that you guys may not know about is the surrendering at the Bennett place was that this was a farm. And they had a lot of farm buildings and a lot of other outskirt areas, as you see here in the pictures. But that's where they did the official signing. There was two initial kind of deals. The first one fell through, and then the second one, they finally, Grant said to General Lee, you have to, surrender, or, or we're going to come in and we're going to get you, basically. So they surrendered, and this was the official surrender. These were some of the guns and some of the things that they had, not only recovered from this area, but a lot of this is restored because in the 1900s, this was a farm, as we were talking, and a lot of it burned down. I mean, these are some of the older pictures from the farm area. So a lot of it was destroyed. So the pictures that they had, they kind of took and redid a lot of these buildings and the structures, and put the structure in here back in the 1900s, mid 1900s, and redid a lot of the road areas to kind of show you what it actually looked like back then. And this is what it looked like, except for that, I wasn't there, the little gazebo area. But this was the road coming in, and this road would have went all the way through and around. These are private areas back here that are part of different sections of the park. And as I walk through, we're just going to walk through down the roadways to kind of give you a feel, throw in some pictures here and there of the area that we had, found. And some of them are mostly artwork because there wasn't too many pictures taken back then. And as many of you know, a lot of them were those tintype pictures. And it's very, very hard to find a lot of those tintypes from the Civil War. Collectors, don't usually give those out to the historic areas to utilize because they either don't get them back or what have you, or they're too far destroyed and you just can't really see them. So they do a lot of artwork. All these cabins were actually. So all these cabins were restored. They're not the originals. Some of the stuff that's in them was original. But as we walk through them, I just wanted to show you what they would have looked like. They would have had this would have been like their little pantry area. And then this is, their little living quarters area. And, there's food, their cupboards, and so back then they just really needed somewhere just to kind of eat and sleep and keep warm. So that was about it. So they were pretty based cabins, and this is how the fireplace, all the tools, how they would hang a lot of that. And we're going to go out and we're going to check out the outer area and some of the other cabins that are close by there. So as we walk out, we're going to check out this other cabin here. And as I said, there was a fire in this area. And this is still the original chimney. That's why they took a placard and put it in the chimney. And you can see where it was all restored with the original blocks. But that was the original chimney that was on the farmhouse and the one that actually burnt. So which is pretty cool. And they dedicated that to that little cabin area that they redid. And we'll kind of walk up in there and take a look inside of this cabin. This is another cabin. This is the replica of the original main living quarters. And they had a replica. That's original bed that was in there, and then your upstairs, your sleeping quarters. They did have that blocked off, but basically up there is just your bedding, your fireplace. And as you see from this cabin, this one's a lot nicer than the other one. And as they show, that's the original picture of the table of them taking part and signing this, basically surrender. This was the house, and the one that burnt. So they redid it all and replicated it so you could kind of see what the house looked like. And this is for doing blankets and weaving. Makes it a lot easier instead of doing it all by hand. So it's a weaving machine for making rugs, blankets, whatever you want to make. That's a spool machine. So I just kind of did some video of some of the things within there that I thought were pretty cool that I wanted to share with you guys. So if you guys can get down here and definitely check this area out. If you can't, we hope this video kind of showed you some of the area and kind of what had happened back then with the whole signing and the peace treaty of the Civil War. As you see, they still have the gun on the overhead as you exit the door, which was pretty typical of a lot of the houses and the farmhouses and the cabins back then. This is the whole picture of the grounds area, and as we scroll around, could probably only imagine all this there was actually a lot of little cabin areas, and then the trees were all gone, and this was all fields and farm and everything that was kind of surrounding that area was all farmland. So a lot of these trees have all kind of, as the other areas that we had talked about, have all now grown up and have changed. In the front area there, you'll see that's the museum up in the front area. And this is where we kind of did, a little bit of a walkthrough of some of the things that were, found here and some of the things that were used. And these were some of the drawings, as I said, that they were, kind of depicted this area and taken from some of those tins, because the tins, they just couldn't really see them real well. So some of the people had taken, that tin and drew out the drawing to show you. Here's another drawing of the Bennett place, and this was taken again from another tin just to show you what the soldiers were doing. And at that time they did use this area for part of the Civil War. And as we keep going through these exploring segments, please do like and subscribe so that way you'll get notification to any of these that are up and coming that are new. We always love doing these exploring segments and sharing areas around our area in the United States, but also too all over the world. So if there's something you guys like to share, just please let us know, put it in the comments, and we'll make a video segment to that, and we'll see you on the next one.